Ladies and gentlemen, make a ridiculous amount of noise. Kieran and Shipka, Ross Lynch, Gavin Leatherwood, Jazz Sinclair. They're all here right now. Wow. I'm dead serious. Part 2 cranks everything up to 11. Congratulations. It looks like it was so much fun to make this show. I'm really excited to talk to you guys all about it. Thank you for being here. How's everybody doing?
Oh my God,
Excellent.
so good.
Really good.
Dude, it's great. I'm just having a day hanging out with all my friends.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's a little friend date. It's lovely.
Lovely friend date. Well, that's
Little
exactly.
reunited situation happening right
And New York City rocks, too.
Here we go. Yeah. Not a bad place to have a friend date.
Not at all.
Not
Absolutely.
at all.
That's pretty awesome.
And we're talking about the show that we're a part of.
Yeah.
And we love talking about it.
Everything's exciting.
All these excited fans are here.
Oh my God, hello.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Hi.
It's amazing.
It's kind of hard to complain, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But somehow I still find a way.
We've got time. We'll get to
What
that.
do you mean you don't have almond milk?
Don't have oat milk? What?
Every milk but. Those are the ones we forgot. No, but that is really awesome. We were talking about this backstage a little bit. That this is part 2 of season 1, which means you guys, you filmed everything back to back in like one, I think it was like 9-month like block that you just did everything. How long ago did that wrap? That was
December 22nd.
December. Yeah,
Yeah, not long ago.
Not that long ago, but long enough to miss each other.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Just enough time.
I think it was like a
Sure.
week before I started missing everyone.
Oh,
You had
man.
a
Like
whole week where
And
you
I was like, I'm ready to get
forget
back to
these
that.
guys.
that 9 months went by so fast, though, because obviously we're working on our TV show, and it just flew on by. And we're going back up, in
May.
May
May.
to do parts 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because that came out around the same time that you guys wrapped. It was announced that you'd get to a proper season 2, parts 3 and 4, which is super cool. What a ride you guys are on right now. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning then, to that end. Like, when did you realize that like it clicked and people got it? Like, there's such a fandom around it. There's cosplay, there's fan art, there's fan fiction, there's all kinds of stuff. When did you realize, oh man, this thing that we love doing, people love watching it just as much? When did that click?
Well, the funny thing with Netflix is that I feel like because everything comes out at once, a lot of people watch the show right away, but then it kind of felt like just more people started catching on as time it passed. Like, I kid you not, the past month, not because of the promotions, just because of the previous episodes, I've had more people come up to me in the past month than when it first came out, because I think more and more people can just kind of catch on to it because it's not this traditional platform episode a week kind of thing.
And you know, social media is like such a crazy reflection of how it's being received as well. And like, I mean, all these guys like kind of had some bit of work before. I kind of came in as, you know, a newbie, and like, I mean, I had like 1,100 followers in the very start on Instagram, which was just like, you know, just like a ravaged guy, and then it blew up to like an insane amount of people, which was just like, whoa, people are watching the show, and like, look at, there's a number.
What went through your head?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry, just really quickly.
Yeah, no, throw it in.
For me, when I realized the show was really special, was actually a few weeks into filming. It's before it ever even came out. Because honestly, we all share such chemistry, and the stories that were coming in were so good. And yeah, from really, really early on, I remember coming home with Jazz, because we had a lot of scenes together, and we would just sit on our balcony and just be like, whoa, this is really something special.
It's pretty awesome.
And we were really excited to share it with the world.
And like the sets for me was kind of what did it, because you just don't know what it's gonna look like before. Like, you have the script and you have your idea of what that's gonna look like in your head, and then going and being on set and like seeing this elaborate world that they built. And like the Spellman house is huge and so detailed, and I was just like, oh wow.
There's a lot within there that I want to unpack. I wanted to talk to you about the sets because I got a chance. I watched the show on the biggest screen I can find in like the fullest res, because it is a gorgeous show. I want to get into that. But the thing that really intrigues me is you guys are obviously really close and having a good time and really good friends. And you're saying that happened really early on. You guys clicked right away as a group. It just kind of all happened magically. What did you guys go on any like fun outings? Did you do anything to bond? Was it all organic? What's the craziest thing you've all ended up doing together?
One thing we were just talking about backstage, actually, was the second time we hung out with Gavin. We all, for whatever reason, ended up in my room and spontaneously created music for about 5 hours and just sat there jamming, just on songs that we were creating in the moment. And obviously, music's very fun. We're all very fond of music, and it was a great way. Kiernan was actually working.
I wasn't there. I was working.
She's the
Whatever.
workhorse of the show. She works all the
Whatever.
time.
Kiernan works
But-
so much.
I
But
do work a lot.
She works.
but that was one of the really early on, one of the greater memories that we share.
Yeah, man.
And then-
it's magical.
I would say by the end of shooting, obviously everyone's so close at that point. And I had my birthday up there, and that was a fun night.
That was so
we had a
fun.
couple like fun actual parties. We had a game. We've had several game nights, like running charades level, high stakes.
And we also have
We
some
could-
very
competitive.
competitive
High-
castmates.
Very competitive.
So like when we're playing
All
charades,
actors playing charades.
Yeah.
It's
It's like at
horribly
the
intense.
Olympic level of charades.
intense. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Where's the music that you guys all created? Is it
It's on
just
my
lost
phone.
to time? Is it really? Or
Yeah.
Memos.
I'm serious. I've got like an hour-long recording of this one jam. We were just singing it. It goes like, I
Show them
can't
more.
hardly breathe without you by my side. And we just created that on the spot.
Ba-da-da-da. Shoo-ba-doo, Kiernan on the tambourine.
But the voice memo is like an hour long. of
Sample
us
me in
just singing
later.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put you in a harmony somewhere.
Yeah.
Kieran, how many times have you had to sit through that story? I'm sorry.
It's fine. Whatever. It's all good. I take no offense. Yeah.
She's the reason this show is what it is, though, you know? Because if we didn't have a Sabrina that was willing to put everything into it, and the many, many, many long nights and, 14-hour days that she endured night after
also-
night after night, we wouldn't have the show.
And just like attitude-wise, like your number one trickles down into the entire experience, cast, crew, everybody, and Kiernan's just always so consistent and so lovely and so hardworking, and just sets a tone of like, if she's working that hard and has a great attitude, like there's no room for complaining, which I think just creates like a really kind, respectful work environment. And I definitely think Kiernan has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Helps that they're awesome too.
yeah, no, of course. And
It's a big old love fest in here.
Like, if
man.
you guys were the worst, that would not be fun. But you guys were the best, so it's great.
it's all kind of worked out for the
Yeah,
better
totally.
in a good way.
Fine.
And I know this may be like an uncomfortable thing to talk about with you sitting right here, but it's true. Just like saying like, oh, you're amazing and the show wouldn't exist without you. That some people can be like, that can be uncomfortable for them to hear like compliments and stuff like that. But the truth is, it's called Sabrina. You play Sabrina. There you are in the middle of the poster. And I bring that up and I say that because when you got the role, were you nervous about that? Was there a lot of pressure? Were you like, what am I going to do? I have to be Sabrina.
It's funny. I kind of wasn't, to be quite honest. I found out about the project and auditioned for the project twice and booked it within a week. Needless to say, my life completely flipped over on its head very, very, very quickly. And then I had a lot of time to work on it, but for some reason, I kind of just didn't want to give myself any of that outside pressure energy vibe. I kind of just wanted to focus on making my Sabrina the Sabrina that I wanted her to be, and doing the best I could, and instead of sort of putting unnecessary pressure on myself to live up to some kind of expectation, I just wanted to make it the best that I knew I could do it, and that was, I think it's sort of like a subconscious thing, but for some reason I never did, and I'm all the better for it, I think. Yeah.
For sure. Talking about all those expectations and all these amazing fans and stuff like that, going in to part 2, I said it in the intro, I'll say it again, you guys are not ready. It's amazing.
Thank you.
What are you guys, we don't want to spoil anything, but what are you really excited about? There's so many amazing developments. There's a love, more than a triangle, really. I don't know what shape to assign it.
A pentagon, if you will.
I believe so. Yes.
A lot of love.
A pentagon. A lot of love.
A lot of love.
I was talking to some of my coworkers downstairs, the Lupercalia.
Lupercalia.
Lupercalia. Oh, man. I don't want to say
Oh, man.
that episode.
Man.
It's so
when
sexy.
So sexy.
I mean, and like, it comes out of nowhere. Like, the show is sexy, but like, that episode happens and it kind of changes your whole perception of this world and universe. When you guys got that script, what the hell were you thinking? Like,
Yo,
what the-
Gavin and I read that together.
Yeah.
When it first
We
came
were like
in.
playing other characters.
Yeah,
and
I was
reading
playing
it back.
Sabrina, and he was playing Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
awesome.
that was really a huge episode to see. I mean, especially like my character's involvement was a lot
Well, it was a
bigger in
massive
that one.
episode for your character. I feel like in so many ways that
Yeah,
is
man.
like not the introductory, but I mean in so many ways
Yeah,
it's
no.
really like the first episode where you really get to know your
You
character.
get to
in a big
peel
way.
back some of those layers of the onion of who Nick is, and it was just so fun. Like as an actor to be able to continue to dive into this character, it was just like it was like the best gift, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that's so great about part 2 is we get more. We get to peel back that onion, so to speak. We get to watch. Jazz, you're working through the cunning and like what those powers mean. You're processing quite a bit after part 1.
I know, man.
Going
Poor
through a lot.
Harvey goes through it, man.
Harvey goes-
He's just
Rough, man.
he's the little mortal in a magic world, man. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's a little mortal in a magic world.
That's
like,
it. That's
Everyone
it.
around him just every day turns
You
around
know-
as a new person with a power. It's just like,
I think he's handling it
my
quite
God,
well,
this-
if you
yeah.
might say so myself.
yeah, he's doing a good job. He's
Yeah.
doing all right. And then, of course, just following Sabrina down this path, the darkness and all the temptations and things. And it's a really exciting part of this season. And like we were saying, it looks like you guys had a lot of fun playing that. Is there a moment in particular that stands out for you? Maybe one that you recall finally that you're really excited for people to see that you can talk about without spoiling anything?
Well,
That's no. Okay, moving on. We've got-
There is. Well, it has been said before, so we can say it. It's not really a spoiler. There is a musical number. There's not a musical episode. Yeah.
Man, hey, she likes the
Yes.
idea.
Cannot wait.
Woo! One person is excited.
Sweet.
There's a musical number. Not
We
a
sing
musical
all right,
episode, but
I
a musical
promise.
number. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. And then I think the second to last episode is also just in everything. Think root vegetable. Yeah.
What happened?
Think parsnip.
it's wild, yo. I was
and it's-
cold.
Yeah,
I was so
that's a
cold.
weird
That was a
slimy and
good.
cold.
That was a good clue, Kiernan.
Yeah.
Really
Think
fun
root
little tip.
vegetable.
Think root vegetable. Got it. All right, and that's what we'll do for another 2 days. We're all gonna
Roth
think
freezing in the forest.
Slimy too.
with I was just thinking. You talk about there being a musical number, and the choice in that trailer for music was really cool, and just in general, music plays a big role in the show. How come the stuff that you guys worked on hasn't found its way onto the?
You know,
It's coming, isn't it?
I've had many conversations with Roberto, our creator, about doing music for the show, or maybe introducing some of my music with my band, The Driver Era, on the show. And really, all that's going to take is a good fit and a good song that matches the show's tone. And believe it or not, actually, Jazz and I have written a song that wasn't initially for Sabrina, but became kind of a Sabrina song, and I gave it to Roberto, and he really likes it, and he wanted to put it in an episode, but I didn't think it was the right tone. Anyways, we're
I don't
working
know,
towards that goal, and I think
Is
it
that song
might
on
be
your
good.
phone?
Yeah.
How loud would they have to get for you to play a portion of that song right
Bro,
now?
it's so good. I witnessed this song like come to life. Like they were jamming, and I was just like,
We're tiptoeing down this path, and we're almost at the point of no
So
return. Is there
good.
some legal reason we
I'll
can't?
put it on the internet or something.
Okay.
I think that's-
Technically, we're on the internet right now.
we are in the.
There's a lot of cameras. No. Obviously, the first time you want people to hear the
sound
song.
any good for my phone.
Not even a tease? And then I'll stop.
why don't you just
Let's
sing
see
it?
if I have it.
Yeah.
Let's see if you have it.
Somewhere.
There we go. Yeah, let's make some noise to fill in the silence while he...
I'll play you the opening, just like.
That's all, just a tease.
It's like really spooky. Can you hear it? You can?
Hello, my dear, it's me, the light you see.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
Oh,
It's kind of
come
sick
on.
though. It's kind of sick. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I was like, oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
But it's made to be spooky. I like put some like wind sounds in the
Yeah.
back to get like Sabrina tone. You know.
Well, you've got to
It
put
gets
the whole
dark.
thing up. You got to let people hear it.
I
That's
know.
amazing.
I know.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of
I was a
course,
real
man.
jerk about it, but I had to.
It's all good. It's all
I
good.
appreciate it.
No, the music's meant to be shared. You know, as is the show and everything like that. That's what we do.
There's something I wanted to ask you guys about, and again, without spoiling anything, but Susie has a great arc this part, and we get like her journey as a character. Again, without spoiling anything, is an awesome story to tell, and that's something this show has done. It tells great stories, even with all the witches and warlocks and the magic happening. It tells stories about real people, and it shows real experiences and real human drama. How is it? It's got to be exciting to be a part of a show that's not afraid to do that, right? To just talk about real people and real stories. How's that feel when you see something like that?
Man. I mean, I think the show is just like really fun at first too. You know, like that's what we're in, this really magical world where like anything is really possible. But yeah, when you have something at the foundation of the show, which, you know, there are deeper messages and like empathy and acceptance and non-judgment and open hearts and open minds, like that's really important. And to be doing something that's not just, I hate to say like mindless entertainment, but like to do something that has some heart to it and some meat to it, I think is really important. I'm proud to be a part of it. Yeah.
And I feel like I've learned from some of the things that we address on the show, and like Susie's whole character story has made me grow as a person in regards to like trans people and trans friendships and like how to navigate that space, because it was something I didn't really know much about. And so being on a show, and Lachlan is so precious with their work, and really wanted to take care to make sure that it was a story that was told well and right. And I think they did a really good job of that. So it's been honestly a really great learning experience for me.
We're gonna turn it over in just 1 second, but we mentioned it very early on, talking about the sets and the epicness of the physical environment that you guys get to be in. There are also some moments that are super creepy that you get to be in, like little bugs, crawling spiders, things of that nature. What do you have a moment that you almost couldn't do it? What's that moment where I see you, man, you are vibrating out of your chair, but you know what I mean? Like you walk in and they go, "You're gonna do this today," and you go, "Am I?" Like,
What?
Oh, am I?
No, they always seem to throw Harvey in the dirt too. That's what's so funny. Like,
around in the dirt a
yeah.
in this next one.
yeah, the witches get to cast spells.
Yeah,
to
and
get
we're
the
like,
distance, but they throw the mortals right in there. Just get in there, you know. But there was absolutely a scene where the cameras were behind my back, and I was immersed in the world. I don't want to give too much away, but I got a glimpse of what was to come and get me. And
That was so nebulous. That was great.
At the time, immersed in the world, I was like, whoa. Just chills up and down my body. It was wild. It was cool though to be so immersed in the world. That's what acting's all about.
Well, there was this one scene where I was wearing these contact lenses, and there was a lot of wind, and I don't want to spoil much, but I was not on the ground and was not standing on anything whatsoever, and just like the intensity of the moment, I couldn't see a thing in these contacts either, and it just like completely. There are several moments in some of these later episodes that I completely just blacked out. Like, because it was so intense, and I kind of after I'm like, oh, was that decent? Was that,
Mind you,
do everything you need? You got it?
she
got
blacked
everything?
out with like 5 pages of dialogue that she
Yeah, no,
executed
seriously.
probably
I'm just like,
perfectly.
But like sometimes the intensity just really gets so intense that you just, I don't know, I just forget everything. I forget myself in the moment 100%, and that's kind of a fun feeling.
that's kind of what you got to do, right? If you're doing the job right, you do preparation, you get everything ready, and then you get super, and then you just forget it all and then live in the moment.
Yeah,
and it all
it's a balance of both. Yeah, for sure.
All right, honestly, you guys are awesome. I could talk to you for another hour and a half, but I want to make sure I leave time for all of our fan questions because we got a bunch. We're going to take a couple from Twitter, and then we'll go to the room. The first one comes from at Amaralot, Amardeep Riyat. At Build Series NYC, will there be any plans for a Riverdale crossover?
I mean, I am down. I've always said that I'm down. I'm into it. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how the writers would make that collaboration, because I think all the writers are really talented, and I would be super down.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And just like melding the magical elements into like a different kind of world, I think it would be a really interesting thing for sure.
Also, just geographically, it's a town over. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of stuff is happening in both those towns very separately.
Never
so,
wander down the street.
I mean, seriously.
Nobody getting a newspaper and just seeing like what's going on over there?
I mean, come on.
I say newspaper because it feels like that's how people would get news in this town.
It's
Absolutely.
timeless. It's timeless.
Just
Timeless.
one episode where Harvey goes to Riverdale and realizes it's even worse over there and comes right back.
That's a great question. Thank you. The next one from at Abby R5. What is something that you learned? Yep. What is something that you learned about each other?
What is something that we
Oh,
learned
we're,
about
About
we're
each other.
constantly
What's
learning
something
about
that
each
you
other,
learned?
I think. We teach each other a lot, actually, through this experience. We're all very into being consciously
developing.
developing and
Growing.
being present. And we're always checking each other and really trying to stay
Check your
on top of that.
presents. Check your presents.
You
I'm here.
Check it.
Wait, what's for lunch? Yeah.
But what's something you think we've learned from each other?
I mean, so much.
I don't even know how
So
you can
much.
sum that up.
So much.
Yeah.
I think really something that I really enjoy about being so close is and having so much time, because we're all kind of gypsies in our own way, just that's the nature of what we do, but like you really get to see everybody through different seasons, and like that interaction of being with the same people through different seasons like teaches you a lot by nature.
I learned that it's possible to work like nonstop, which I thought was inhuman. But seeing Kiernan do it, I was like, she is up in the morning and she's like, she's home at that hour, and then a couple hours later she's back at it doing it again. And when Lupercalia came around, I was like, this is a lot.
I also
like,
learned that about myself. I didn't know I could do that either. Like, full disclosure, I was completely just like, let's see if this works. Every day, still alive, good, awesome. Keep going.
Pretty amazing. Kate, how many we got in the room? Thank you to our fans on Twitter. Those are great questions. We've got 3 more we're going to do from the room in here. First one is coming from, I believe, you have a microphone. Let's go for it. Talk into it. Let's see what happens.
What's up?
Hey.
Hi. Oh my god. Damn it.
Yeah.
You got
Take your
this.
time.
You got
Take your
Damn
this.
it.
What's your name?
Marie.
Marie?
Marie.
Marie, hi Marie.
Nice to meet you.
What's going on?
I was gonna ask, like, there's a lot of like dark scenes or whatever, like crazy, creepy stuff. Like, what do you guys do offset to like calm down and stuff?
There's so much positive energy between all of us. Like we're constantly creating and being silly offset, so it really does counteract like a lot of that. You know, the show is dark, like you said, for sure. It's got darker elements, and I think if it wasn't so lovely, like backstage, and if we weren't, I mean, there's like a guitar always, thanks to you, or or the set.
Kieran's got a great one,
Kieran,
too.
Like, I mean, they're constantly around. You know, we're doing whatever we can to just like ride this lovely, positive wave that we're all on. Yeah.
And sometimes prosthetics can be quite funny. Like, you never know what's going to pop out, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, some of the
There's,
stuff that translates that's really scary onto TV is kind of funny in real life.
I'm just going to
be
say
quite
Elmo.
honest.
You're gonna say
I'm just going to say Elmo.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Kieran knows what I'm
Oh,
talking
my
about.
God, I don't want to talk about it.
We
but
don't
yeah,
need
yeah.
to go there, but,
Yeah, you can look it
know,
up.
Elmo.
over my head.
So if you're playing bingo at home, it's root vegetable and Elmo.
Yeah,
Are
no,
the
Elmo
two
season 1.
Elmo season 1.
Elmo
Okay.
season 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Exorcism. The Apophis.
Elmo, I wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. That was awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Marie.
much.
Thanks, Marie.
I got time for a few more. The next one's going to come from who's got the microphone next. There you are. Go for it.
Hi, I'm a big fan. Love you guys. You're all beautiful.
Thanks.
My question is about the show has such a unique style. It's kind of like gothic and retro, and from clothing to the set. What have you guys taken any of the clothes or props from set?
I've taken props. I've taken.
You were real quick on that.
I've taken props. No, well, the attention to detail is so amazing in the show, and it's kind of a sad prop. But when season 1, when it was Tommy's funeral, they had brochures for Tommy, and so like I took stuff like I took one of those, and I'll take little like pins and things like that. But for the most part, I leave it to just be on set, especially wardrobe. I mean, I'm in that stuff 5 days a week, so it's nice to not be in it occasionally.
I just really want that jacket.
It's a
That's it.
good-looking jacket.
That's all I want. And then I'm good.
At the end of the show, I want to take the locket.
Yeah, you
I
should
want to take
definitely
the locket at
locket.
the end.
Yeah.
I always take my character's necklaces, so I want to
okay.
do that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Do you guys, have you taken anything from? Anything that you want to admit?
Afraid to confess right now? Is that what's
I
happening?
haven't taken a single thing. No, I definitely have it, and like I definitely do want some of the wardrobe pieces that come through because they're. I mean, Angus is a knockout. He dresses us so well. But no, I wouldn't dare to. This is my first big job. I'm not trying to get fired yet, man.
They're watching. Netflix is watching right now.
I
They're
know
like,
they are.
All right, good, good.
And
You
that
can come
contract
back.
extension is good.
It's pretty amazing.
I did take a bra once.
Is that sentimental or out of necessity? Were you
It's a good bra, and they had like 16. I was like, can I have
They're
this?
not gonna give
They're
this
like,
bra to
"Sure."
anyone else. Know what
Well,
I mean? I
that's-
mean, it's your bra now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the truth.
You guys are freaking awesome. All right, we got one more. Come on down.
Hi.
Hey.
So one of my favorite episodes from the original was when Britney Spears comes in. So if you guys could bring one icon into an episode of the show, who would you pick?
Jeff Goldblum.
Great call.
Ringo Starr.
Oh wow.
Can you imagine? That'd be wild. That'd be so cool.
I kind of want to bring like somebody that would not. Cardi B.
There you go. There you go.
I want to see what Cardi B does in the witch world for sure.
For sure.
I don't know if
Musical
we're
episode.
talking like icon, like world, but like
Your choice.
my mom. I just love my mom. Even if she's like in the back or something, like I just want her to be on.
That's the
That'd be
cutest.
sick.
The boy who
she'd kill
didn't
it.
steal wants his mom to come to set. I see.
I'm a really good boy.
I see. You're really playing this up. You.
See the halo, guys?
That's a really sweet answer, actually. That's
Thanks,
pretty
man.
awesome. Hey, thank you so much for all your questions, guys. This was an absolute blast. We got to wrap things up. I will remind the world that part 2, I'm telling you, you're not ready. April 5th on Netflix. You knew that, though, right? It's happening. Make sure, set aside some time, get ready to watch all of this madness. These people worked very hard and had a lot of fun, and you're going to have a lot of fun watching. I'll tell you that right now. Nothing left to do but make a ridiculous amount of noise. Everybody, come on. Gavin Leatherwood, Jazz Sinclair, Ross Litch, and Kieran Shipka right here. Let's do it up. Come on.